Hey guys, it's Miss Rolfe, and I'm going to do a little introductory video overview of persuasion and the persuasive essay structure. We're going to go into more detail about this during class, but for right now, I just sort of want to go through some things with you to sort of give you an overview. All right. First of all, what is persuasion? Well, it's making an argument. It's trying to convince someone of your opinion. So Aristotle back in the day said that there are kind of like three main ways that arguments can be effective, how you can sort of persuade people. And they're called logical appeals. And there are three main logical appeals. There's logos, which appeals to logic, pathos, which appeals to emotions, and ethos, which has to do with the speaker's credibility. And we're going to go through them in detail and use some videos to kind of um, see examples of it in action. So, logic uses facts and reasoning to support claims. This is the strongest way to convince somebody of your opinion, in my mind. I think in most people's minds. So, ethos has to do with the speaker's credibility. The speaker demonstrates knowledge of the subject, establishes goodwill or intent, and establishes membership, like gives you confidence in them that convinces them. See my meme? Your psychiatrist has more ethos than Google, just FYI, in this situation. Okay, so we're going to watch a short video about social distancing and the spread of COVID. Sorry. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. So, in that video, they use logic by explaining how social distancing can stop the spread, and then ethos because of the people that they use, the Surgeon General and Dr. Fauci. There is a little pathos at the beginning where she kind of implores you to do this for others. Okay, so pathos is appealing to emotion, and I included this meme about Sarah McLachlan because these videos make me cry. And I'm not going to make you watch one, but you've all seen the sad animal ones, and immediately you want to go and give them your money because sad animals are sad. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the structure, the basic structure of a persuasive essay, and we're going to look at a couple of clips that sort of illustrate parts of the persuasive essay. We will also go over the structure a little bit more in detail later on in class. So, step one in writing your persuasive essay is take a side. Okay, so obviously You are not deciding what you want in life or picking a husband, you or wife or whatever. You are literally just picking a side on an essay. But if you don't pick a side, you cannot go forward. So, step one, pick a side. Then you got to come up with some reasons why you think what you think. In this case, Rachel McAdams or Allie in the movie The Notebook would have to decide, do I pick Ryan Gosling? Yes. Why? Well, he can build a house. That's a good reason. Um, so your reasons are going to provide your topic sentences. They're going to provide the connective tissue. And if you want a nice visual of that, that's what connective tissue looks like. If you don't have connective tissue, your essay is just a big messy blob. So please use topic sentences and have reasons. After you have reasons, you need strong, convincing examples. And in my class, I only allow certain types of examples. The first type would be perhaps maybe a historical example or a current event. I am going to show you a little bit of a clip from Remember the Titans, and it uses a historical example, but it also uses some other rhetorical appeals, maybe pathos. And I'm going to have to fast forward a bit, so bear with me. Okay, so you see they're running, they run, he makes them run. Oops, sorry, got to back up. Okay. Okay. So I want to point out how in this historical example, there is logic, there is pathos, and a little bit of ethos because the words are coming from the coach. He says this is like the Battle of Gettysburg. The Battles of Gettysburg was an important battle in the Civil War. So he's trying to show how the divisions between races in America between blacks and white have been going on forever. He uses that as an example to remind them that they should come together and sort of come together as a team and win their football game. He is convincing them using a historical example, but also he did use some pathos when he used that descriptive language and said the souls are calling and the blood bubbling. So it's a very convincing argument. I would listen to Denzel and I would stop fighting and play football. All right. So you need transitions between your paragraphs, transition words or sentences. Otherwise, you might be awkward, like this. All of the awkward transitions that were in the OG Star Wars. Okay. These are not good transitions. That one's particularly bad. Okay, you get the idea. You need transitions between your paragraphs. Make sure you try to do that. Okay, after you transition into your second paragraph, you're going to need another example. I'm going to show you an example of, I think, a good rhetorical appeal that uses a personal example. It also uses some logic in the argument, but the main crux of the argument is a personal example. This is a scene from the movie Rudy, Another football movie. It's a really good one. If you haven't seen it, it's one of my faves. It's a little old. I'm going to fast forward a little again. Okay, so at this point, Rudy's going to quit the football team because he did not make the dress list. It's very sad. Okay, so I'm just going to click that. That video is like a triple threat. First of all, he uses logic when he tells him that you're 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing. Basically, you're too small to play football, but you've hung in all year. So that's logic, right? He's giving him logical reasons why he shouldn't quit. Um, then he tells him a personal story, or like alludes to the personal story, that he like he illustrates his regret about his own football career. And that's a personal anecdote, but it's also logical in that the way he's framing the argument is like, hey, look, I've been through this, which is ethos, right? He has ethos because he played football. He's been through this experience. And so he's able to convince Rudy. Spoiler alert, the speech works. All right, finally, if you want to get an A and you think you can do it, you need to address counter argument in your essay. My or concession. What counter argument, rebuttal, concession means is you present the other side of the story of the argument and you say why it's wrong. The easiest way to address counter argument is to do this in your introduction. Start off, some people believe this, other people believe that, however, this is correct. Okay? Um, and the best example of counter argument I've ever seen in my life, well, maybe not my whole life, but one of my favorites is from 8 Mile, the last rap battle. Eminem basically says everything the dude is going to say about him up front. He's like, I know what you're going to say about me. I'm white. I live in a trailer with my mom, blah, blah, blah. You guys should look it up. I cannot show it in class. It has foul language. But he shoots down everything that the guy is going to say before he says it and then completely stumps him in his rap battle, and he can't do it. So, excellent example of counter argument. So, that is the basic structure of the essay, and we will get into it more in just a few minutes.